Hi there, and welcome. Rizwan Khan starts the story by documenting the whereabouts and activities of the US president. His next stop is at the airport, where he purchases a plane ticket to Washington, only to be checked upon arrival due to his devotion to reading the Quran. The officer then inquired as to the purpose of his journey to Washington once they had finished searching him. "I have a message to convey to the President of the US," Rizwan Khan adds. "It took a long time, but I am not a terrorist. My name is Khan." After boarding the bus instead of the plane, he started writing to his wife Mundira, assuring her that he would fulfill his promise and that he would soon meet with the president. When he was a little boy, we begin to learn his backstory. Being bullied due to his Asperger syndrome, a kind of autism, was one of the many challenges he faced in his life. Unfortunately, he dropped out of school due to the bullying he endured, despite his mother's insistence that he have an education. So his mom sent him to a private tutor named Wadia, who taught him all the ropes. He demonstrated his brilliance by coming up with a solution to the water problem at his tutor's house. He began assisting his mother by fixing malfunctioning electrical equipment. As a result, his mother paid little attention to his younger brother. He was awarded a scholarship to attend college in the US when he reached the age of 18. He got married, lived there, and traveled. The loss of their mother prompted Rizwan to go to America to live with his brother. It was then that he met Hasina, the brother's wife and a psychology major, who had the insight into Rizwan's condition that no one else had. Additionally, she was aware of his greatest fears, which included unfamiliar environments and people, the color yellow, and sudden, intense noises. She helped him overcome his phobia of public spaces by letting him view unfamiliar locations through a camera. After that, his brother coerced him into becoming a sales representative for cosmetics at the same company, and he began visiting beauty parlors to showcase his wares. Mundira, an employee at Karma Salon, was the next person he encountered. Even though her spouse divorced her, he still likes her and is aware that she is a mother. She turns down his marriage proposal, but he keeps trying to get her to accept nevertheless. After that, they make a pact. She'll agree to marry him if he takes her to a spot in San Francisco she's never been before. She is so familiar with the area that he is unable to show her any fresh spots. At first light one morning, Khan calls her name and says, "You must come with me immediately because I will show you a new place." As a result, she opens her eyes to a view she has never seen before, the San Francisco sunrise. She eventually consents to being married, coming from Khan. Then, on September 11th, hatred toward Muslims grew, violence swept over the country, and Hasina was persecuted for wearing the headscarf, which she eventually had to remove. After his father passes away while reporting from Afghanistan, Sam, Mundira's kid, loses his sole companion. Because of what happened, Sam was even more persecuted at school, and eventually he was beaten to death by his peers. Mundira holds her husband, Rizwan Khan, responsible for her son's death, even though she understands that he was killed due to religious fanaticism and that he was a Muslim. She kicked him out of the house and told him to go as he was responsible for her son's death. She also did not want to see him again. "When will you let me return?" Khan questioned her. She admonished him to see the president and inform him that her son was a Muslim, not a terrorist, after telling every American that his name is Khan and that he is not a terrorist. Afterwards, Khan sets out on his mission to meet the US president, and he fixes automobiles to earn money along the road. Along the journey, he encounters Mama, Jenny, and Joel, who happens to be Mama's son, and who reside in a quaint little village that counts only 204 inhabitants. He spent some time with them before heading to Los Angeles, where the president is scheduled to visit a university. Even though he managed to go to Los Angeles 3 days before his scheduled visit, he had a racist lecture against non-Muslims delivered by Dr. Faisal Rahman one day while he was praying. Khan then goes on to characterize the doctor as a racist demon who lies, which turns him against the sermon. He gives some background on himself, the FBI, and when the visit will be. "I am not a terrorist," he says aloud when he spots the president standing amid the crowd. His name is Khan. A riot breaks out after he uses the word terrorist, which leads to his arrest, interrogation, torture, and eventual sentencing to prison. The cameras catch him throughout the process. One of the people filming him was a young man named Raj, who was curious about his case and sought out a hacker's assistance in order to learn more about Rizwan Khan. The video reveals Raj's case. A televised interview with his brother and his wife is broadcasted on a news station. He was released when his role in the detention of Dr. Faisal Rahman became a matter of public opinion, and his case became a hot potato. He sees Munira as he is about to leave, but he won't meet her since he promised her he wouldn't return until he met the President of the US. Meanwhile, he watches the news report that a tornado had hit the city of Georgia, destroying the town where Mama Jenny and Jewel were staying. He made up his mind to go lend a hand, and when he got there, he discovered the town submerged underwater, with every soul hiding in the church. Even though they accused him of being a terrorist, Raj and the news crew went to see Khan and decided to help him out before the tornado destroyed the church. Now, word has spread that Khan is trying to save people in the town on his own, and he has become an inspiration to many. His brother and his wife were among the locals who went to the aid of the town's inhabitants in order to spare their lives for this very reason. Barack Obama, one of Khan's rivals for the presidency, heard about him. Ressa, Sam's friend, saw the news and decided to tell Munira who killed Sam but was too afraid to confess. The killers were arrested, and Munira went to see Khan, who had been the victim of an attempted murder by a follower of Dr. Faisal Rahman, who had been arrested due to Khan's report about him. In the exact instant that Barack Obama was inaugurated as president, Rizwan Khan was airlifted to a Georgia hospital. After learning that the president would be visiting Georgia, Khan made an unsuccessful attempt to meet with him. Nonetheless, he was pleasantly delighted to learn that the president had returned to meet with him in person at the film's conclusion. "My name is Khan, and I am not a terrorist," he told him when they met.